Good evening, learners.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
Very good evening.
जो मैडम मोर गोटे डाउट थिला पचारिबी
Hmm.
जो मैडम मु जेतला ऑनलाइन रे फॉर्म फिल अप कली तो मु असाइनमेंट रो खाली फॉर्म फिल अप करछि तो प्रोजेक्ट रो करनी सेटा कोन ऑफलाइन ने एग्जाम सेंटर नबो ना स्टडी सेंटर नेबे
प्रोजेक्टर फॉर्म फिलअप କରିନ?
ନାଇଁ
ଆଚ୍ଛା ତମର ଯୋଉ ରିଜନାଲ ସେଣ୍ଟର ନମ୍ବର ଥିବ
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ସେଇଥିରେ କଲ୍ କରିକି ଟିକେ ପଚାରିବ ତ।
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମୁଁ ଆମର ଷ୍ଟଡି ସେଣ୍ଟର ସାର୍ ଯିଏ ଅଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କୁ
ହୁଁ
ପଚାରିଥିଲି
ହୁଁ
ତ ସେ କହିଲେ ଅଫଲାଇନ ରେ ଦେଲେ ଚଳିବ ତାପରେ ମୋର କଣ ହେଇଛି କଣ କହିଲେ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଯୋଉ ଫର୍ମ
ହୁଁ
ଫିଲ ଅପ ଟାଇମ ରେ ସେ ଷ୍ଟଡି ସେଣ୍ଟର ଏକ୍ଜାମ ସେଣ୍ଟର ନ ପକେଇକି ଭୁଲ ସେ ଅଲଗା କଲେଜ ଟା ହେଇଯାଇଛି।
ହୁଁ ହୁଁ।
ତ ସେଇ କଥା ମୁଁ ଷ୍ଟଡି ସେଣ୍ଟରରେ ଦେବି ନା ଏକ୍ଜାମ ସେଣ୍ଟରରେ ଦେବି ସେଇଟା
ଆଚ୍ଛା ସେଇଟା ଟିକେ ପଚାରିଦବ ଷ୍ଟଡି ସେଣ୍ଟରରେ ଯିଏ ଅଛନ୍ତି କୋଅର୍ଡିନେଟର
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ତାଙ୍କୁ ପଚାରିଦବ ଆଇଦର ନହେଲେ ତମର ଯୋଉ ନମ୍ବର ଅଛି
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ହେଲ୍ପଲାଇନ ନମ୍ବର ସେଇଥିରେ ପଚାରିକି ଟିକେ ବୁଝିଦବ।
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ହଁ କାଲି କ୍ଲାସର ଜଣେ ହିନ୍ଦୀ ମିଡିୟମର ଥିଲେ ସେ ଜଣେଇ ନାହାନ୍ତି ବୋଧେ।
ହଁ ସେଟା ହିନ୍ଦୀ ଥିଲା ତାଙ୍କର।
wait for 2 minutes then I will start. Huh? Any type of query after the class, you ask to your study center number or regional center number. You already have this number, and in that number you contact and get the answer. So, who has the Hindi medium? Who will appear in Hindi medium?
ମୁଁ ମ୍ୟାମ୍
Who will appear the exam in Hindi medium?
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ମୋର ଅଛି ହିନ୍ଦୀର।
Okay. Uh, uh, last day in the last class you asked about the annexure. Can you have present the annexure in Hindi medium? Did you ask this question?
ନା ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ମୁଁ ନୁହଁ ମତେ ଆହୁରି କିଏ ପଚାରିଥିଲେ।
ଯଦି ହିନ୍ଦୀ ମିଡ଼ିୟମ୍ ଅଛି ତ ତମେ ହିନ୍ଦୀ ମିଡ଼ିୟମରେ ଆନେକ୍ସର ଦେଇପାରିବ। ହିନ୍ଦୀ ମିଡ଼ିୟମରେ ବି ୟୁ ହାଭ୍ ଟୁ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ ୟୋର ରିପୋର୍ଟ if you want in Hindi medium. Now we start our class.
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
Now I am presenting my screen. Before start our class, one question I have for you that from the last class, what did you learn? From the last class, what did you learn?
ହଁ
Is it visible now? Is it visible now?
ଆଜ୍ଞା
Is the
ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
screen okay? From the last class, what did you learn? Last class रे हमें कौन पढ़ी थी? Some key points.
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ପିଲାକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଶିଖେଇବାର ଆଗ୍ରହ ସୃଷ୍ଟି କରିବା ତାଙ୍କୁ ଉତ୍ସାହ ଯୋଗେଇବା। ଯେମିତିକି ସେମାନେ ନୂଆ ଜିନିଷ ବହୁତ ସହଜରେ ଶିଖିପାରିବେ।
Very nice.
ତାଙ୍କ ପ୍ରତି କେମିତି ବ୍ୟବହାର ଦେଖେଇବା।
Any other? In the last class, we studied that how we prepare our project file and the annexure and the steps of sequencing the project file. After that, how we make our note in the 5 days observation, and according to the note, how we prepare our observation report. Is it? Pikachu? କେମିତି ଆମେ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ପ୍ରିପେୟାର କରିବା, କେମିତି ନୋଟ୍ସ ପ୍ରିପେୟାର କରିବା, କେଉଁ ବେସିସ୍ରେ କରିବା, ଆଉ ନୋଟ୍ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ଫାଇଲ୍ର ସିକ୍ୱେନ୍ସ, ସେତିକି ଆମେ ଲାଷ୍ଟ କ୍ଲାସ୍ରେ ଦେଖିଥିଲୁ। ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି, ଏଇଟା ତ ନା ଆଉ କିଛି? Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now we start our rest part of the section 6. Uh, we have left it that 9:20 to 9:50 we have already discussed what the guide is doing in the class, and after that we make a report, and according to the report we analyze also the report. Uh, from this side we left our class 9:50, between the 9:50 and the 10:30. What have you observed in the class? The guide, whenever guide is taking the preschool pre class and interacting with the children from 9:50 to 10:30, what is his activity, and how students react with that activity? So you have observed. Your observation is following this session. The educator take the children outdoor for play. The preschool had a playground. You observed that the preschool, this is a free play activity. You can say that this is a free play activity. And in this free play activity, what is the goal? After observation and report writing, you have analyzed the report. Uh, Behind the activity, what is the goal, and how the activity fosters the students' development, particular development. So now the preschool had a playground with a slide, swing, and a jungle gym, a wet pit, sand pit, and with an different types of play material, and some play material like balls. Some children and attracted towards this and started playing with the ball. Others play games, and some raced in the open playground. Uh, this was a free play session where children were free to choose what and how they wanted to play. So you can call it a free play. Children, according to their interest, they are busy with that type of play material. So the educator, while keeping an eye, all the children was here and there and play with their interest and enjoy the play. With the two new ones, the educator, while keeping an eye on all the children, was mainly involved with the two new ones. Last day we have discussed that there are two new kids joined some days before in the preschool. So the teachers keep his eye with that two children. The two new children felt inhibited in playing with others. Uh, though they are newly joined and not comfortable with others, so that time in using and feel fear to use the play equipment, the guide, what the guide is doing at that time, she helped them off the slide and encouraged them to slide down. The guide or your guide or the preschool educator take two children to the slide and encourage them to slide down. After a few turns on the slide, she took them to the jungle gym. While one climbing on it, the other one is hesitant. uh, the you observe that the one kid is feel hesitated to climb the jungle gym. The educator at that time took this child to the sand pit and encouraged him to play there. Always the guide try to become comfortable, try to feel the child, how much feel the child comfortable. Always the guide try to help the child to be comfortable and encourage him to play there, seeing the others into sand with the guide always help the two children to be become comfortable and keeping an eye also other children. So, what is your analysis? You are observing that these activities are done in the playground of the preschool. This is a free play, and what you analyze from this activity, that uh, this activity session was successful. You feel that this activity was a successful activity. The educator, by and large, could attend the most children, and the educator, uh, uh, the children is always like to play, so this is a play activity, and all the children's involved in the activity and attend to most of the children, and all the children are involved in the activity, so the educator can easily attend all the children. When the need arose while she guided children while playing, she did not impose her idea. In the last class, we discussed that the guide in the safe identifying the safe activity, the guide impose his or her idea upon the children. But in this activity, according to the children interests, they go for that, and some play with sand, some play with slide, some play with jungle gym. According to their interest, they do that activity, and the guide did not impose any idea upon them. So these activities is in primarily help to foster children's physical and development also. I already told that behind every activity there is a goal, and students development, each particular development is occurs. So in this activity, the children's physical development occurs. Also, playing with others choice and help others to play and cope with others. This is some cooperation activities developed, and tolerance is developed within the child, and in this way they like to help them to express their emotion playing together, as some children did help children to relate to each other socially. So the physical and motor development and social development and emotional development occurs in this activity. So this activity is foster the children's social, emotional, and physical development. ବୁଝିହେଲା କି? ବୁଝିହେଲା? Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, madam.
ବୁଝିହେଲା? କିଛି
Yes, madam. ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଆମେ ଏଇଗୁଡାକ
ହଁ।
ଲେଖିଦେଲେ ତା ହବ ରିପୋର୍ଟରେ?
ହୁଁ।
ହେଁ?
ନାଇଁ, ତମେ ଯୋଉ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରିବ, ଏଠି ସେ କ'ଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ପ୍ଲେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରିଛନ୍ତି, ଫ୍ରି ପ୍ଲେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି, ତମେ ବି ଫ୍ରି ପ୍ଲେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରିପାରିବ, ଯୋଉଠି ଯୋଉଟା ଯାହା ଆଭେଲେବୁଲ ଅଛି। ଏଇଠି ପ୍ରି ସ୍କୁଲରେ ସବୁ ଆଭେଲେବୁଲ ଅଛି, ଜିକ୍ସ ଅଛି, ସିସ୍ ଅଛି, ସ୍ଲାଇଡ୍ ଅଛି, ଯୋଉଠି ଯାହା ଆଭେଲେବୁଲ ଅଛି ସେଇ ଆଭେଲେବିଲିଟି ଅନୁସାରେ ୟୁ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ଡୁ ୟୋର ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି। ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ୍ ଏ ଫ୍ରି ପ୍ଲେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି। ସେ ଯଦି ତମେ ଫ୍ରି ପ୍ଲେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରୁଛ ତ ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ ପିଲାର କ'ଣ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ହେଉଛି, ଫିଜିକାଲ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ବା ଫିଜିକାଲ ମଟର ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ହେଉଛି, ଆଣ୍ଡ ସୋସିଆଲ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ଯେତେବେଳେ ପିଲା ଗୋଟେ ପିଲା ସହିତ ଖେଳୁଛି, କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା ହେଉଛି, ହସୁଛି, ତା ପଛରେ ଦୌଡୁଛି, ସେ ଜାଗାରେ ତାର କ'ଣ ହେଉଛି, ସେ ସୋସିଆଲି ତା ସାଙ୍ଗମାନଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଆଟାଚ ହେଉଛି। ନୂଆ ପିଲା ଯେତେ ଆସିଥିଲେ ସେମାନେ ସ୍ଲାଇଡ୍ ପାଖକୁ ଯାଉନଥିଲେ, ଡରୁଥିଲେ। ସେ ଟିଚର କ'ଣ କଲା ଯେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ସ୍ଲାଇଡ୍ ପାଖରେ ନେଇକି ପହଞ୍ଚେଇଲା, ତାକୁ କହିଲା ଖେଳିବା ପାଇଁ, ତାଙ୍କୁ ଚଢେଇଲେ ଟିଚର, ସେ ଚଢିଲେ, ଅନ୍ୟ ପିଲା ସହିତ ଖସିଲେ। ଯୋଉଠି ପିଲା ତାଙ୍କୁ ଗୋଟେ ପିଲା ତାକୁ ହେଟ୍ କରୁଥିଲା ବା ହେଜିଟେଟ୍ କରୁଥିଲା, ସେଠି ତାକୁ ଖେଳିବାକୁ ଦଉନଥିଲା, ପିଲାମାନେ ସେ ସମୟରେ ଟିକେ ଥାନ୍ତି ମାନେ ଜିଦିଆ ଥାନ୍ତି, ନିଜ ଜିନିଷ ସେୟାର କରନ୍ତିନି, ତ ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ ସେ କ'ଣ ଟିଚର୍ସ ତାକୁ ଏନକରେଜ କଲେ ଖେଳିବା ପାଇଁ, ସେ ଜାଗାରେ ସେ ସୋସିଆଲି ତା ସହିତ ଆଟାଚ ହେଲା, ତ ସାଙ୍ଗମାନଙ୍କ ସହିତ ମିଶିକି ଖେଳିବା ଦ୍ୱାରା ତ ସୋସିଆଲ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ହେଲା। ଏବଂ ତାକୁ ଯୋଉଟା ଭଲ ଲାଗୁଛି ସେ ସେୟାର କରୁଛି ତା ସାଙ୍ଗ ସହିତ, ସେ କହୁଛି ଆଉ ବାଲିରେ ଖେଳିବା, ତ ସେ ଇମୋସନାଲ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ମଧ୍ୟ ହେଉଛି। ତ ଆମେ ଫ୍ରି ପ୍ଲେ କରାଇବା ବେଳେ ପିଲାର କୋଉ କୋଉ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ହେଉଛି ସେଟାକୁ ଆନାଲିସିସ୍ କରିବା। ତମେ ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରକାର କ୍ଲିଉ ସେ ନେଇଥିଲେ ଗୋଟେ ସ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ପିଟ୍ ପାଖକୁ ନେଇଥିଲେ, ମୁଁ ନେବି ଅନ୍ୟ ଗୋଟେ ସଢ଼େଇ ପିଲା ପାଖରେ ଥିବ, ସେଠି ଖେଳୁଥିବ, ସେ କଣ୍ଢେଇ ଥିବ, ତ ଏନି ଫ୍ରି ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି
ସେ ଯୋଉ
ହ୍ୱାଟ
ସି
ଏଭର
ସ
ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି।
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ,
ହଁ
ସି ସ ସ୍ଲାଇଡ୍ ଫ୍ଲାଇଡ୍ ଏଟା ସବୁ ସ୍କୁଲରେ ତ ନାହିଁ, କୌଣସି ସ୍କୁଲରେ ହିଁ ନାହିଁ ତ।
ହଁ, ଯୋଉ ସେଇଟା କହୁଛି, ଯୋଉ ସ୍କୁଲରେ ଯାହା ଅଛି ଆଭେଲେବିଲିଟି ଅନୁସାରେ ତମେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ସେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରେଇ ପାରିବ, ସେ ଫ୍ରି ପ୍ଲେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି। ତ ସେଇ ଫ୍ରି ପ୍ଲେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିରେ ତାର କ'ଣ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ହେଉଛି, କୋଉ ଗୋଲ ତା ପଛରେ ଲୁଚିକି ଅଛି, ସେଟାକୁ ଆନାଲିସିସ୍ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ। ପାଖରେ ଯଦି ପାର୍କ ଅଛି, ଏବେ ତ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ଭିଲେଜରେ ସ୍କୁଲ ପାଖରେ ପାର୍କ ଡେଭଲପ୍ ହେଇଛି, ତ ମୁଁ ମୋ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ସେଠିକି ବି ନେଇପାରିବି, ସ୍କୁଲ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ସେଠିକି ନେଇପାରିବି, ସେଠି ତାଙ୍କୁ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ପ୍ଲେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରେଇ ପାରିବି। ବୁଝିହଉଛି?
ୟେସ୍ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ।
ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ ଏଣ୍ଟର କରୁଛନ୍ତି ସେଠି ଅଲଗା ପ୍ରକାର ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ରହୁଛି, କାରଣ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ ଆଟେନସନ୍ ସ୍ପାନ୍ ଇଜ୍ ଭେରି ଲିମିଟେଡ୍। ଯଦି ମୁଁ ଦିନ ସାରା ତାଙ୍କୁ ଖେଳେଇବି ସେମାନେ ବି ବୋର୍ ହେଇଯିବେ। ତ ପ୍ରଥମେ କିଛି ସମୟ ମୁଁ କିଛି students likely to give their attention almost 20 to 25 minutes. After that they getting bored. So, for student interest and individual interest, according to the individual interest and you have to organize that type of activity. If I organize the free play activity, then that part, after that part, I organize a rhymes or any song activity. After that, I organize a numeracy activity. After that, for language development, I organize a storytelling activity. So, different types of activity you have to organize. That's why become students become enthusiastic and get involved themselves in the activity. They do not bore. The first we already discussed the last class 9:20, 8:30 to 9:20 a activity, a songs rhymes activity was there. Then after the identifying safe activity is there, that is a numeracy activity. Then after the teacher organized this activity, this free play activity. କିଛି activity, କିଛି ଖେଳ, କିଛି ଗୀତ, ଏମିତି ଟାଇପ୍ର ରୋଟେସନ୍ ଟାଇପ୍ର ଆମେ କଲେ ପିଲାଙ୍କର ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ ହେବ, ଆଉ ସେମାନେ ବୋର୍ ହେବେନି ଆଉ ଇନଭଲ୍ଭ ହେବେ। ଆଉ ଯୋଉଟା what type of development we have to achieve, we want to achieve by the children, we can achieve easily that much. ବୁଝିଲ? ବୁଝି ହଉଛି?
Yes, ma'am.
Then 10:30 to 10:40 a.m. You observed that at this the educator announced that it was time to go inside the room. Children went to wash their hands and faces at the wash basin and use the toilet. The educator surprised uh, that the washing which took about 15 minutes. Supervised, sorry. The educator supervised the washing which took about 15 minutes. After the play activity, educator help them to wash their hand and wash the toilet, use the toilet, and always the educator side by side observe the students if they properly use their hands and use hand wash and properly use their hands and use the toilet, and in the toilet they if they properly floss the toilet. So the educator foster all these healthy hygiene habits, observe the healthy hygiene habits. What was your analysis? In this session, you analyzed that the educator supervising the toileting facility and the washroom announced the and solve the student's problem. Whenever the student, some students had not uh, busy in the washing and just put the water in their palms and not use the hand wash. So at that time, the educator encourage the child, please take some Dettol, take some Sablon liquid, and uh, properly use your hands. Then after use the toilet, and then after using the toilet also you wash your hands. So wash your hands before eating is a good habit, is a healthy habit. In this situation, the students can become um, regularized or towards the healthy habits. So after that, 10:40 a.m. to 11 a.m. It was about to 10:40 a.m. You observed that it was about 10:40 a.m. Around this time, the children took their tiffins from the shelves and sat on the table and chair for eating. The break for eating lasted about 20 minutes. ତ ସେଠି କ'ଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଏଜୁକେଟର, ଯେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ପିଲା ଖେଳିକି ଆସୁଛନ୍ତି ସେ ହ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ୱାସିଂ ପାଇଁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଏନକରେଜ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ ପିଲା ଶିଖୁଛି ଯେ ଗୋଟେ ହେଲ୍ଦି ହାବିଟ୍ସ ସେ ଡେଲି ପ୍ରାକ୍ଟାଇଜ କରୁଛି, ଗୋଟେ ହେଲ୍ଦି ହାବିଟ୍ସ ଜାଣୁଛି ଯେ ଖାଇବା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ହ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ ୱାଶ କରିବା ଦରକାର, ହାତକୁ ଜର୍ମ ଫ୍ରି କରିବା ଦରକାର। ସେଠି ତାର ଜର୍ମ ବିଷୟରେ ନଲେଜ ରହୁଛି, ଏନଭାୟରମେଣ୍ଟ ବିଷୟରେ ନଲେଜ ରହୁଛି। ତ ବହୁତ କଥା ପିଲା ସେଠି ଶିଖୁଛି। ସେ ପ୍ରଥମେ ତାର ଗୋଟେ ହେଲ୍ଦି ହାବିଟ୍ ଡେଭଲପ୍ ହେଉଛି। whenever he want to eat anything, before eating he must wash his or her hands. So it is a healthy habit. So uh, doing this activity regularly he become develop a healthy habit. After that, all the students sit in their bench and table and eat their tiffins. At that time also, educator observe if the children finish their tiffin and eat properly and finish his tiffin properly से खाଉଛି ନା ନାହିଁ। ତ ଆମର ଦାୟିତ୍ୱ ହେଉଛି ପ୍ରପର ନ୍ୟୁଟ୍ରିସନ୍। ପିଲା ପ୍ରପରଲି ଖାଉଛି ନା ନାହିଁ, ତାର ଖାଇବା ଯାହା ଆଣିଛି ଫିନିସ୍ କରୁଛି ନା ନାହିଁ, କ'ଣ ଘରୁ ଖାଇବା ଆଣିଛି, ସେଠି ଯେଉଁ ଟିଚର କ'ଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କ ସହିତ ଇଣ୍ଟରାକ୍ସନ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ତ ରାପୋ ବିଲ୍ଡ ୱିଥ୍ ଦ ଚାଇଲ୍ଡ। ଯେତେବେଳେ ପିଲାକୁ ପଚାରୁଛି ଟିଚର ଯେ କ'ଣ ଆଣିଛି ଆଜି ଖାଇବା ପାଇଁ, ଆଜି ଖାଇବାଟା ଭଲ ହେଇଛି ନା ନାହିଁ, ତ ସେ ଜାଗାରେ ଯେଉଁ ବହୁତ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ସେ ପଚାରିକି ପିଲାଙ୍କଠୁ ଆନ୍ସର ନେଉଛନ୍ତି, ପିଲା ବି ଟିଚରକୁ ବହୁତ କଥା ସେ ସମୟରେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି। ତ ସେଇଟା ଗୋଟେ affectionate environment. This conversation creates a affectionate environment and a friendly environment with the child and between the child and the teacher. After that, between 11 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., following this, the educator once again asked the children to sit in a semicircle. So, hand washing and eating finished now, and the educator once again asked the child to sit in a semicircle in a U shape on the mat. By this time, it was around 11 a.m. The educator began with narrating a story to the children using a picture card or a storybook. Her narration went on for about 10 to 15 minutes. So now the educator show a picture card. Sometimes he show a picture card, or sometimes he show a storybook. And showing the storybook and picture card, he narrates the story for 10 to 15 minutes. After that, she narrates the story in an interesting manner with proper intonation, with proper voice modulation, and modulating the voice and using gesture and facial expression. The children listen to her with a great interest. Even the two new children were also encouraged in listening. After the storytelling was over, the educator then recapitulated the story briefly with the help of the children. Then she asked children to some questions, tracing the progress of the story. While most of the children could respond to the question related to the earlier part of the story, there were not many answers to questions relating to the latter part or the latter state. Since the had started becoming completed by them. So in this situation, the after showing the picture card, the storybook, the educator narrate the story with voice modulation, with facial expression, and with his body language, with gesture and posture. Uh, ତ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ଷ୍ଟୋରି କହୁଛେ ପିଲାକୁ, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ହରର ଷ୍ଟୋରି କହୁଛେ, ଆମ ଆଖି ବଡ଼ ବଡ଼ ହେଇଯାଉଛି। ସେଇଭଳିଆ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୋଟେ ଇମୋସନାଲ କଥା ଆସୁଛି, ସେତେବେଳେ ଟିଚର ସେଠି ମୁହଁକୁ ପୁରା ଇମୋସନ୍ କରିକି ସେଠି କାନ୍ଦି ପକାଉଛନ୍ତି। କାନ୍ଦିବା, ହସିବା ଏବଂ ତାଙ୍କର ପୋଶ୍ଚର ଗେସ୍ଚର ବଡ଼ିର ପରିବର୍ତ୍ତନ ହେଉଛି। ତ ପିଲା ସେଠି ସବୁଯାକ ଅବଜର୍ଭ କରୁଛି। How the teacher or the educator narrate the story. And by observing the gesture, posture, and voice modulation, the children or the kids understand the story. And after that, educator asks some question to them, and getting answer from them, and recapitulate. ଆମେ ଏଇଟା କୁଆ ଗପ ଶୁଣିଲେ, କାଉ ଗପ, the story of the thirsty crow. What we learn from the story, and the educator asked the question to the students, and the students analyze the story, and telling some creative answers. And after that, the session is over. From this session, what you have observed and you have analyzed, that session was fairly successful. The children interested till the end, and the manners of narrating the story was very interesting. However, the plot of the story was complicated, and there are too many characters, though thus did not uh, um, understood by the children, and did not foster the interest of the children. You observe that the story contains so many characters, so it could not it could not take the attention span of the child. So the story should be a small story. I already told children's time span is very small. ସେମାନେ attentive 10 minutes 20 minutes ବା 25 minutes ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ହେଇପାରିବ। ତାଠୁ ଅଧିକା ଯଦି ଆମେ ତାକୁ ଷ୍ଟୋରିକୁ ଲମ୍ବେଇବା ବା ଷ୍ଟୋରିରେ ବହୁତ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ କ୍ୟାରେକ୍ଟର ଦେବା, ତ ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ ସେମାନେ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ଫିଲ୍ କରିବେ ନାହିଁ। So the story must be, you learn that, you analyze that the story must be a small story, and there must be a 4 to 5 characters. So the child can easily grasp the story or easily understand the story and easily analyze the story and easily recapitulate the story and whatever he or she learn from the story can be very easy to express. ବୁଝିହେଲା କି?
Yes, ma'am.
ତ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଷ୍ଟୋରି କହୁଛେ ପିଲାକୁ ସେ ଜାଗାରେ ଷ୍ଟୋରିଟା ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟିଂ ହେବା ଦରକାର। ଆଉ ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଷ୍ଟୋରିକୁ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ କରୁଛେ ବା ନାରେଟ୍ କରୁଛେ ସେତେବେଳେ ଆମର ବଡି ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜ ଆମର ଫେସିଆଲ ଏକ୍ସପ୍ରେସନ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟିଂ ହେବା ଦରକାର। ଯାଦ୍ୱାରା ପିଲାର ଆଟେନସନ୍ ଆମେ ଡ୍ର କରିବା। ପିଲା ଆଂସିୟସ୍ ହେଇକି ଆମକୁ ଶୁଣିବ। ତ ସେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ସେ ଷ୍ଟୋରି ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ ଦୁଇଟି ତିନିଟି ଚାରିଟି ପାଞ୍ଚଟି କ୍ୟାରେକ୍ଟର ଦେବା। ଆଉ ଏଭ୍ରି କ୍ୟାରେକ୍ଟର ସମ୍ କ୍ୟାରେକ୍ଟରିଷ୍ଟିକ୍ସ ତା ଭିତରେ ପିଲା ଶୁଣୁଛି ଜାଣୁଛି। ତ ତାପରେ ସିଏ ତାକୁ ଆନାଲିସିସ୍ କରିକି କହୁଛି ଯେ ହ୍ୱାଟ ଏଭର ୱି ଲର୍ନ ଫ୍ରମ୍ ଦ ଥାର୍ଷ୍ଟି କାଉ ଇଫ୍ ଦେୟାର ଇଜ୍ ୱେ ଦେୟାର ଇଜ୍ ଏ ୱିଲ୍ ଦେୟାର ଇଜ୍ ଏ ୱେ। ତ ସେଠି ସେ କନକ୍ଲୁଡ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ଯଦି ଆମ ପାଖରେ କିଛି ଇଚ୍ଛା ଶକ୍ତି ଅଛି ତ ଆମ ପାଖରେ ରାସ୍ତା ଆପେ ଆପେ ଫିଟିବ। ତ ଏଇଭଳିଆ ପିଲାକୁ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ କରେଇକି ଷ୍ଟୋରିରୁ ଆମେ କିଛି ଲର୍ଣ୍ଣିଂ ଦେଇପାରିବା। So after that activity in 10:30 to 12 o'clock, the storytelling session went on till 11:30 am. After this, the educator set up a indoor free play. After storytelling session is over, now the educator organized indoor free play. That was a outdoor free play, and in this session, it is a indoor free play. In this session, he laid out play materials like blocks, jigsaw puzzles, beads, and strings, series on boards. These are play materials available in the market and also in the play school. And ask children to play with the whatever they felt like they were two three sets of ଯାହା ତାଙ୍କର ଇଚ୍ଛା ସେମାନେ ଦୁଇଟି ତିନିଟି ସେଟ୍ ନେଇକି ସେମାନେ ଖେଳିବେ ବୋଲି ଟିଚର instructed to the children. You have analyzed the children to express their emotions as they identified with the it was the before analysis part with the character in the story you have completed with this. So this is the activity session went up quite smoothly. There was adequate play material for all and the educator uh, always give the attention to the most of the children. In the children played, the educator moved around, showing children how to handle the different play materials. Particularly when she observed a child having a difficulty, the new children needed to be paid more attention, which the educator did. Whenever the educator provide if there is a limited source of play material we can group the children. If there are a plenty of play material can provide and say that whatever material you like you can use and play. ଯେତେବେଳେ ବହୁତ ଗୁଡ଼ିଏ ପ୍ଲେ ମ୍ୟାଟେରିଆଲ୍ ଆଭେଲେବୁଲ୍ ଆମ ପାଖରେ ଅଛି ତ ଆମେ ପିଲାକୁ ସେଠି ଇଜିଲି ସବୁ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଦେଇପାରିବା। ଯଦି କମ୍ ମ୍ୟାଟେରିଆଲ୍ ଆମ ପାଖରେ ଅଛି ଆମେ ଦୁଇ ତିନି ଜଣ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ କିଛି ପ୍ଲେ ମ୍ୟାଟେରିଆଲ୍ ଦେଇକି ମିଶିକି ଖେଳିବା ପାଇଁ କହିପାରିବା। ତ ଏଇ ଜାଗାରେ ଏଠି କ'ଣ ହେଇଛି ଦେୟାର ଇଜ୍ plenty of play material. You observe that there is a adequate means there is much or plenty of play material for all and the educator pay attention to most of the children. The activity in this session primarily help to foster children's fine motor development. ଯେତେବେଳେ ପିଲା ଖେଳୁଛି ହାତ ହଲଉଛି ଗୋଡ଼ ହଲଉଛି ଖେଳୁଛି ହାତରେ ଖେଳଣା ଗଡ଼ୁଛି ତ that time the children motor development occurs. Whenever children play with the blocks, particularly nurtures creativity and imagination and enables children to express emotion. There is a play material we call that block. In that block, he create some vehicle. Sometimes he create home. ଦେଖିଥିବ ତୁମେ ବ୍ଲକ୍ ଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଯେଉଁ ମାର୍କେଟରେ ମିଳୁଛି ସେଗୁଡ଼ାକୁ ପିଲା କ'ଣ କରେ ବେଳେବେଳେ ସିଏ ଯାହା ଦେଖିଥାଏ ତାର ଲାଇଫରେ ବା ଫ୍ରମ୍ ହିଜ୍ ଅର୍ ହର୍ ଏକ୍ସପେରିଏନ୍ସ ଫ୍ରମ୍ ଦ ଏନଭାୟରମେଣ୍ଟ ସେ ବ୍ଲକରେ ନେଇକି ସେଟାକୁ ତିଆରି କରେ। ସେ ଗାଡ଼ି ତିଆରି କରେ, କାର୍ ତିଆରି କରେ, ଟ୍ରାକ୍ଟର ବନାଏ, ବେଳେବେଳେ ସେ ବିଲ୍ଡିଂ ବନାଏ। ଡୁ ୟୁ ଅବଜର୍ଭ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍?
Yes, madam.
Anybody can respond. Do you observe? Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you observe that whenever the students play with the blocks, what things they made?
Yes, madam.
कौन खेल ब्लॉक रे कौन से माने बनाती तैयारी करती? ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଥାଏ ବିଭିନ୍ନ ସ୍କୋୟାର ଟାଇପର ବ୍ଲକ୍ ରେକ୍ଟାଙ୍ଗଲ ଟାଇପର ବ୍ଲକ୍ ଥାଏ ମାର୍କେଟରେ ଯୋଉଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଆଭେଲେବଲ୍ ଅଛି ସେ ଖଞ୍ଜିକି ତାକୁ ସବୁ ବନାନ୍ତି, ବିଲ୍ଡିଂ ବନାନ୍ତି, ବିଭିନ୍ନ ଟାଇପର ଭେହିକିଲ୍ ବନାନ୍ତି, ଦେଖିଛ?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ବୁଝି ହଉଛି ନା ବୁଝି ହଉନି?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ବୁଝି ହଉଛି।
ରେସ୍ପନ୍ସ ଆସୁନି ତ ମୁଁ ଭାବୁଛି ବୁଝି ହଉନି ବୋଲି। ପିଲାମାନେ ବନାନ୍ତି ଏଇଭଳିଆ କିଛି? ହୁଁ Hmm. Thus, that whenever he play with the blocks, uh, it particularly it increase or foster his creativity. ସେଠି ସେ କେତେ କ୍ରିଏଟିଭିଟି ତାର ଅଛି ସେଠି ସେ ପରଫର୍ମ କରେ। ତ ଦିସ୍ ବ୍ଲକ୍ ପ୍ଲେ ଇଜ୍ very interesting play for the child and this create creativity and imagination. ସେ imagine କରୁଛି ଯେ ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ହାଉସ୍ ବନାଉଛି ତ ହାଉସ୍ରେ କ'ଣ ରହିଥିବ ତ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ creates its imagination in a better way and enables the children to express emotion. So the play indoor free play activity is a very interesting activity for the children and it develops creativity and imagination and emotional expression in a better way. After that, 12 to 12:15 p.m. After the indoor free play activity, the 12 to 12:15 p.m. the indoor free play session lasted about 30 minutes. Then the educator asked the children to wind up and put the play material back on the shelves. The children and the educator together cleared up the room. Then the children picked up their respective tiffin boxes, and water bottle by 10, 10. The children was who had to leave by the school minibus were asked to form a row and get into the school bus. The educator escorted the children and did goodbye individually to each child as they entered the bus. The parent of the other children had started coming to pick them up. The educator wished each child goodbye whenever he or she is left. So, after the 4 to 5 activity in the first day observation, you have observed that the preschool educator conducted 5 activity, 4 to 5 activity for the children, and each activity has its developmental goal. And by all the activity, the students can develop its physical, motor development, emotional, and social development. After that play, the educator encourage the child to keep the things into their right place. କାହିଁକିନା ଆମେ କ'ଣ କରୁଛେ ପିଲାକୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଘରେ ବି ଦେଖିଥିବା ଆମେ ପିଲାମାନେ ଖେଳିବେ ସେଠି ଖେଳଣାକୁ ପକେଇ ଦେଇକି ପଳେଇବେ, ଉଠେଇବେ ନାହିଁ, ସଜାଡ଼ିକି ରଖିବେ ନାହିଁ ଜିନିଷ। ତ ଫ୍ରମ୍ ଦ ପ୍ରାଇମେରୀ ଷ୍ଟେଜ୍, ଫ୍ରମ୍ ଦ ଫାଉଣ୍ଡେସନାଲ ଷ୍ଟେଜ୍ from the preschool stage, if we encourage the child to keep the thing in the right in their proper place, in the right place, it will be the children will develop a good habit and make his or her life discipline. We can develop a disciplined child. So it is most important that after playing the activity, after play with the playing materials, the students and the teacher both engaged in to keep the things in their right place. And by doing these activity day by day or every day, it may be a habit. It forms a good habit in within them. So the teacher in that activity cleared up all the materials, clear up the room, clear up the floor with the children. If the educator involves with them, the children always feel enthusiastic and feel encouraged. The teacher ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଆମ ସହିତ ମିଶିକି କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ସେ ଜାଗାରେ ସେମାନେ ଆଉ ଟିକେ ଏନକରେଜ ଫିଲ୍ କରନ୍ତି ଆଉ they feel happy. Yes, someone, the ma'am who is with us and always with us. They feel, and these feelings creates enthusiasm among them. So all the things placed in that place. After that, whenever he welcome all the children, he say each and every child to good morning and hug them. Like that, after the all session over, all session over, the educator also greet the child goodbye and give a hug or give a handshake with the child and escort to the bus. If the children get by the bus, then the educator uh, greet them and goodbye and escorted to them inside the bus. Whenever the parent children are also say goodbye by the educator and give a hug, this is a this create a friendlier affectionate environment. This is the observation. And what is the analysis about that? That by this binding each child, binding each child goodbye or saying each child goodbye creates a personal touch and makes the child feel warmth and love. We know that if we give a hug or give some affection to the child, it creates a warmth of love and the child feels very happy. And it creates his interest to come the next day and come the next day with a smile into the preschool or Anganwadi. ଯଦି ଆମେ ତାକୁ କିଛି ଆଫେକ୍ସନେଟ୍ ବା କିଛି ହକ୍ ଦଉଛେ ଗୁଡ୍ ବାଏ କହୁଛେ କାଲି ରାଇଟ୍ ଟାଇମ୍ରେ ଆସିକି ପହଞ୍ଚିଯିବ ଏଇସବୁ କଥା କହୁଛେ ତ ଏଠି ତା ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ ସେ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ ହେଉଛି ଯେ ମୁଁ କାଲିକି ପୁଣି ପ୍ଲେ ସ୍କୁଲ ଆସିବି ବା ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡ଼ି ସେଣ୍ଟର ଆସିବି. So it makes a rapport with the child, with every child. ବୁଝି ହେଉଛି?
Yes, madam.
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍.
Then conclusion. After the one day observation, you already present your report and your analysis. So like that, you last class we discussed that how you make your note. In the note, you just mention the time and the type of activity. But in the report, you mention the details, time and details activity done in that session. And after that, you analyze also that session regarding the developmental goal and the developmental process of the child. After that, you conclude your report by a few lines. This is the example of conclusion in this report. The conclusion is the educator kept a balance between outdoor and indoor play. So sometimes the educator, if the educator in the first two activity, the educator make a indoor plan. After the next activity, the educator make a outdoor plan. It may be alternate. So the educator kept a balance between the outdoor and indoor play, group and individual activities and free play and structured activity during the day. There are activities related to each development of child, that is physical, motor, cognitive, social, and emotional. Apart from the activity session on the set, which would have been organized in a more child-centered manner. You observe that all the activities are very much interesting and very much fruitful and very much essential for the child, except the safe activity. The safe activity is more interesting or more fruitful if the child it foster the child centered manner. If the child get the opportunity to identify the safe and the activities during the day held the interest of the children. So all the activities should be organized according to the children's interest. Understood? ବୁଝିହେଲା କି?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଆମେ ଦେଖିଲେ ଯେ ଗୋଟେ ଦିନର କେମିତି ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ନୋଟ୍ ବନେଇଲେ ଆଉ ସେ ନୋଟ୍କୁ ବେସ୍ କରିକି ଆମେ କେମିତି ଗୋଟେ ଡିଟେଲ୍ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ବନେଇଲେ। ତ ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ୍ ଦ ଫର୍ମାଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଦ ନୋଟ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଦ ଡିଟେଲ୍ ଫର୍ମାଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଦ ରିପୋର୍ଟ। ସୋ ଏଇ ଟାଇପ୍ର ତୁମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ 5 daysର ଅବଜରଭେସନ୍ କରୁଛ, ତ ଏଇ ଟାଇପ୍ର ତୁମେ ଅବଜରଭେସନ୍ କରିବା ଭିତରେ ନୋଟ୍ଟେ ବନେଇବ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଅବଜରଭେସନ୍ ସରିବା ପରେ ଏକ ଡିଟେଲ୍ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ଏଇ ଟାଇପ୍ର ବନେଇବ and this report is also submitted in your project file. So after the 5 days observation, first phase is now completed. Your first phase is completed, and after the first phase or period, you have the optional 2 days for preparation of your activity for second phase. So in the second phase of the project work, you have to organize activity session with the children. uh, Now you are the observer. After the 5 days observation, you are the preschool educator or Anganwadi worker. You play the role of Anganwadi worker or preschool educator, and at that time the educator is your observer. So for many of you, this would be the first time that you would be formally planning and carrying out play activity with the preschooler. So some ତମ ଭିତରୁ କିଏ ଜବରେ ଅଛ ନା ସବୁ ଫ୍ରେଶର?
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ କୋଉ ଜବ୍?
ମାନେ କିଛି ସ୍କୁଲରେ କାମ କରୁଛ ନା ଏମିତି ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟ?
କମ୍ପାନୀରେ ଜବ୍ କରିଛି।
ଅଲଗା ମାନେ ଅଲଗା ଟାଇପ୍ର
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ଆଚ୍ଛା, ଓକେ।
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ସୋ ଏଠି ଯଦି ସେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ଯଦି ତମେ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ଲେ ସ୍କୁଲରେ ଅଛ ଆଉ କ୍ୱାଲିଫିକେସନ୍ ଆଡ୍ କରୁଛ ନିଜର, ତ ତମେ ଅଲରେଡ଼ି ଜାଣିଛ କେମିତି ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି। ଇଫ୍ ୟୁ ଆର୍ ନଟ୍ ଇନଭଲ୍ଭ ଇନ୍ ପ୍ରି ସ୍କୁଲ or not in, this is new for you, so you may take 2 days gap. You have a prepare an activity plan for each session and get it approved by the guide before you conduct the session. So to help you start off, you have been given the option of taking a break of 2 working days. Prepare the activity plan and aids play materials to organize the aids and play materials for the first 3 or 4 activity sessions and discuss them with the guide. We have already discussed that in the observation part you observe the detailed activity sessions, and after that you have your 20 days for second phase. In the second phase 20 days you uh, plan your activity and carry out your activity, and every day you spend 1 or 2 hour in the preschool. ତମକୁ ସବୁଦିନ 2 ଘଣ୍ଟା ସେଇଠି ପ୍ରି ସ୍କୁଲରେ ସ୍ପେଣ୍ଡ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ। ଆଉ ସେଇ 2 ଘଣ୍ଟା ଭିତରେ ତମକୁ ପ୍ରଥମ 10 ଦିନରେ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ, ତାପରେ ନେକ୍ସଟ 10 ଦିନରେ ଦିଟା ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ। ସୋ ହ୍ୱାଟ ଏଭର ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ୟୁ ଆର୍ ଡୁଇଂ ଇନ୍ ଦ ପ୍ରି ସ୍କୁଲ, so this activity must be planned before, and the teaching learning material for your activity is organized before, and it must be approved by your guide. ଯାହା ତମେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରିବ ତା ପାଇଁ ତମକୁ କ'ଣ ପ୍ଲେ ମ୍ୟାଟେରିଆଲ ଦରକାର, କ'ଣ ତମକୁ ସପୋର୍ଟିଭ ମ୍ୟାଟେରିଆଲ ଦରକାର, ସେଟା ତମେ ଆଇଦର ବୁଝିବ ଯେ ସ୍କୁଲରେ ଆଭେଲେବୁଲ ଅଛି, ନହେଲେ ନିଜେ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜ କରିବ। ଏବଂ ଯାହା ତମେ କରିବ ସେଇ ପ୍ଲାନ୍ଟାକୁ ତମର ଗାଇଡଙ୍କ ପାଖରୁ ଆପ୍ରୁଭ୍ କରେଇବ। So, however, as mentioned earlier, this break is optional. ପ୍ରଥମ 5 ଦିନ ପରେ 2 ଦିନ ତମକୁ ବ୍ରେକ୍ ମିଳୁଛି, this is optional. You may take or you may not take. ସେଇ 2 ଦିନରେ ତମେ ପ୍ଲାନ୍ କରିବ ଏବଂ ଗାଇଡ଼ରୁ ଆପ୍ରୁଭାଲ୍ ନେବ activity plan with and organizer play material and aids ଯାହା ସେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ପାଇଁ ଦରକାର ଯଦି ସ୍କୁଲରେ ଆଭେଲେବୁଲ୍ ଅଛି ତ ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି ନହେଲେ ନିଜକୁ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ ଆଉ ସେଇଟାକୁ ଆପ୍ରୁଭ୍ କରିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ ସେଇ 2 ଦିନ ଗ୍ୟାପ୍ ଭିତରେ ଇଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ ବେଟର୍ ଟୁ ଟେକ୍ 2 days ଗ୍ୟାପ୍ because 2 days in this 2 days gap you prepare your plan and prepare your dates in a better way. So, and thus begin with the second phase in continuation with the first. You may work 2 days gap ଯଦି ଆବଶ୍ୟକ ନାହିଁ you may continue after 5 days you continue from the 6th days your second phase is continue. So you may work out with your guide a pattern for discussing the subsequent activity plan. Any doubt from section 6?
No, ma'am.
Everything is clear now?
Again, ma'am.
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଆମେ ଆପଣ ଯୋଉ ଦେଖେଇଲେ ଅବଜରଭେସନ ଆନାଲିସିସ୍ ଆମେ ସେଇଆକୁ ଲେଖିଦେଲେ ତ ଚଳିବ?
ନାଇଁ ଯୋଉଠି ସେତକ ମ୍ୟାଟେରିଆଲ ଆଭେଲେବୁଲ ଅଛି ମୁଁ କହିଲି ମୁଁ ସେତିକି ଆଭେଲେବୁଲ ଅଛି
ହଁ ସେ ମ୍ୟାଟେରିଆଲ କୁ ଛାଡିକି ଆଉ ଯାହା
ହଁ
ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି ଆମେ ସେ ଯୋଉ ଟାଇମ ୱାଇଜ
ହଁ,
ନାଇନ
ତମେ
ଯୋଉ
ଯୋଉ
ନାଇନ
ହଁ ଟାଇମ
ନାଇନ
ୱାଇଜ ଯାହା ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ସେ କରିଛନ୍ତି ତମେ ଯଦି ସେ ସେମ୍ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରୁଛ ତମେ ତାକୁ ଲେଖିପାରିବ କାରଣ ସେଟା ତାଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ସିଚୁଏସନ ଅନୁସାରେ ସେନାରିଓ ଅନୁସାରେ the observer will have presented this report. But whenever you take your class, what is your availability? You have to present that type of report. ତମର ଯଦି ସେଇ ସେମ୍ ଏକ୍ଜାକ୍ଟ ସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ତମେ କରେଇବ ତ ସେମ୍ ଥିଙ୍ଗ ରିପୋର୍ଟରେ ଲେଖା ହବ ଆଉ ତ ଚେଞ୍ଜେସ୍ କିଛି ରହିବନି ଯଦି ମୁଁ ମୋର ପ୍ଲେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଅଲଗା ପ୍ରକାର କରୁଛି କିଛି ଅଲଗା ଜିନିଷରେ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଖେଳଉଛି ତ ମୁଁ ଅଲଗା ରିପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ କରିବି ଯଦି ମୁଁ ସେ ସେମ୍ ଜିନିଷ ମୋ ପାଖରେ ଆଭେଲେବୁଲ୍ ଅଛି ମୁଁ ସେଇଟାକୁ ହିଁ କରୁଛି ମୁଁ ତ ଏଇ ରିପୋର୍ଟଟା ହିଁ ସମାନ ରହିବ ଏନି ଡାଉଟ୍ ଠିକ୍ ଅଛି
Again,
ବୁଝିହଉଛି
again.
ନା ଆଉ କିଛି ଡାଉଟ୍ ରହିଲା ତମର ଆଭେଲେବିଲିଟି ଅନୁସାରେ ତମର ପିଲାଙ୍କର ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ଅନୁସାରେ ୟୁ ହାଭ୍ ଟୁ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜ୍ ୟୋର ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି and and also your guides concern ମୁଁ ଯଦି ଏଇଟା କରିଦଉଛି ମୋ ଗାଇଡ୍ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ନା ଏଇ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଟା ପିଲାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଠିକ୍ ହବ ନାହିଁ ତ ସେଠି ଆଇ ହାଭ୍ ଟୁ ମଡିଫାଏ ଇଜ୍ ଇଟ୍ କ୍ଲିୟର
ୟେସ୍ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ
then now we go for our section 7 section 7 detail 30 activity କ'ଣ କୋଉଟା present କରିବ ସେଟା ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା ତ in this section 7 the second phase organizing activity session with the children the section 7 is detailed clarification about the 20 days activity in for the second phase section 70 पूरा second phase रे जहाँ तमे activity करियो से विषय regarding this matter detailed description is given your section 7 module uh, you have to in the second phase you have to plan and carry out 30 activity sessions in 20 days one activity per day in first 10 days two activities per day in next 10 days. In this module, this is the schedule of activity session, day 1. In day 1, the activity session is regarding the activity to foster physical and gross motor development. In day 1, you plan your activity and the activity must develop the physical development and motor development of the child. ଏଣୁ ତେଣୁ ତମେ କିଛି କରିପାରିବ ନାହିଁ ଜୋସ୍ନା ପଚାରୁଥିଲ ବୋଧେ ମୋତେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚନ୍। Am I audible to all of you?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ହଁ
Yes, ma'am.
ଯେ ହଁ ତମେ କହୁଥିଲ ଯେ ଆଫ୍ଟର ଫାର୍ଷ୍ଟ ଫେଜ୍ ଡେ 1 ରେ ତମେ କ'ଣ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରିବ? ଡେ 1 ରେ ତମେ ଏଇ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରିବ ଯୋଉଟା କି ପିଲାର ଫିଜିକାଲ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ କରୁଥିବ ଆଣ୍ଡ ମଟର ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟରେ ହେଲ୍ପ କରୁଥିବ। You plan the activity and the activity must develop the physical part and motor or foster the physical and gross motor development of the child. ତ ଯଦି ତମେ ପ୍ରଥମ ଦିନ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରିବ ସେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଫିଜିକାଲ ଆଉ ମଟର ପିଲାର ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ କରୁଥିବ ଏବଂ ସେଟା ମେ ବି ଗୋଟେ ଫ୍ରି ପ୍ଲେ ହେଇଥିବ ଆଉ ଆଇଦର ଏ ଆଉଟଡୋର ଗେମ୍ ଅର୍ ଇନଡୋର ଗେମ୍। ବୁଝିହେଲା ଏବେ?
Yes, madam.
ହଁ ତ ଡେ 2 ରେ ତମେ ଯୋଉ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରିବ these activities to foster fine motor development. या पूର୍ବରୁ you have already observed in your report and discussed that the indoor free play can develop a fine motor skill among the children. So in this activity you must organize a indoor free play activity. And in the first activity you can organize a indoor free play activity or outdoor free play activity. Then next day 3 you have to plan and carry out a activity that related to rhymes and songs accompanied with movement and action. ଯେମିତି ଆମେ ଟିକେ ପୂର୍ବରୁ କହୁଥିଲେ ଆକାଶକୁ ଚାହିଁବା, ହାତ ଦୁଇ ଯୋଡ଼ିବା, ହାତ ଆମ ଟେକିବା, ତ ଏଇ ଜାଗାରେ rhymes and songs. With the rhymes and songs the children move their body parts and make some actions. And day 3 you must organize or you must plan a activity that's related to the rhyme song, and these rhyme songs develop are related to the movement and actions of the body. ବୁଝିହେଉଛି?
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ତେଣୁ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଡେ 1 ଡେ 2 ଡେ 3 ରେ ତମେ ଯୋଉ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରିବ ତା must be related to this types of development. So ଏଇ motor physical development ପାଇଁ ତମେ କ'ଣ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରିବ ଏଠି organize. This is more specified. Day 1 ରେ you have to think what activity I have to take that increase the physical development. In the second day you have to think about what activity I have to take that develop the motor skill of the child. In the day 3 you have to plan that some rhymes and some songs which are related to some movement and action of the child. So day 4, in the day 4 the activity session related to the drawing activity, and it also foster students creativity and imagination. In day 4 you have to organize or plan a drawing activity, and for the drawing activity you have to also organize the aids or the teaching learning material,
ନେଚର
some
ଉପରେ
colors.
ହେଇପାରିବନି?
Eh?
ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଡ୍ରଇଂ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଟା ନେଚର ଥିମ୍ ର ଉପରେ ହେଇପାରିବନି?
ଡ୍ରଇଂ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କ'ଣ ପିଲା କିଛି ସେଠି କ'ଣ କରିବ, କିଛି ଡ୍ରଇଂସ୍ କରିବ, କିଛି ଡଟ୍ ଏରିଆ ଥିବ ତାକୁ ଯୋଡ଼ିବ, ଡ୍ରଇଂ କଲରିଂ ଆମେ ଯେଉଁ କହୁଛେ ଡ୍ରଇଂ କଲରିଂ
Yes, yes.
ଏଇଭଳିଆ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କିଛି
ଧର
କରିବ।
ଯେକୌଣସି ଧର ନେଚର ଉପରେ କଲେ
ଭିଲେଜ ଯୋଉ
ट्री की सन
ହୁଁ
फ्लावर
ହୁଁ ସେ ତାଙ୍କର ଅଛି ସବୁ କନସେପ୍ଟ, they have some concept and according to the concept you make a drawing activity, you plan a drawing activity. This the if the section related to the plants, the students can clearly identify plant parts and make a picture of land. So you have to organize that type of drawing activity related to your theme. Then activity session 5. Activity session 5 related to the storytelling, followed by a related activity. ଯଦି ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ଟ୍ରି ମୋର କନସେପ୍ଟ ଅଛି ପ୍ରିଭିୟସରେ, ତ ତାକୁ ନେଇକି ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ଷ୍ଟୋରି କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ କରୁଛି। ସେ ଷ୍ଟୋରିରେ ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ ଦ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାନ୍ସ ଅଫ୍ ଦ ଟ୍ରି ଇନ୍ ଆୱାର ଇନ୍ ହ୍ୟୁମାନ୍ ଲାଇଫ୍, ସେ ତାକୁ ନେଇକି ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ରିପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ କରୁଛି ଷ୍ଟୋରି। In the activity session 5, you have to organize a storytelling session that related the previous activity. ବୁଝିହେଲା?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ହଁ, ଯଦି ମୁଁ
ହୁଁ
ମୋର ପୂର୍ବ କ୍ଲାସରେ କନସେପ୍ଟରେ ମୁଁ ପଢ଼ଉଛି ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଯେ ଫ୍ୟାମିଲି ମେମ୍ବର, ତ ପିଲା ଫ୍ୟାମିଲି ମେମ୍ବରକୁ ଚିହ୍ନୁଛି, ଆଉ ଫ୍ୟାମିଲି ମେମ୍ବର କ'ଣ, ଫ୍ୟାମିଲିରେ ସମସ୍ତେ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ କାମ କରନ୍ତି, ଦ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାନ୍ସ ଅଫ୍ ଏଭ୍ରି ଫ୍ୟାମିଲି ମେମ୍ବର, ତ ସେ ତାକୁ ନେଇକି ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ଷ୍ଟୋରି ବନେଇ ପାରିବି। ତ ସେଇ ଷ୍ଟୋରିରେ ମୁଁ ମୋର ସେଇ କନସେପ୍ଟକୁ ଯାହା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ପିଲା ପଢ଼ିଥିଲେ ତାକୁ ନେଇ, ସୋ ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ୍ ଭେରି ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟିଂ, ଦିସ୍ ମଷ୍ଟ ବି ଦ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟସ୍ କ୍ୟାନ୍ become very interested towards this. Then activity session 5 related to the storytelling. Then activity session 6. The activity session 6 is related to the painting activity.
ଏଇଠି ମ୍ୟାଡାମ
Hmm.
ଗୋଟେ ଡ୍ରଇଂ ଅଛି, ଗୋଟେ ପେଣ୍ଟିଂ ଅଛି,
ହଁ,
ଆ ଦେହରେ କ'ଣ ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ କ'ଣ?
ପେଣ୍ଟିଂରେ ସେଠି ସେ କଲର୍ ୟୁଜ୍ କରୁଛି ଆଉ ପେଣ୍ଟ କରୁଛି, ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ଟାଇପ୍ସ ଅଫ୍ କଲର୍ ୟୁଜ୍ କରୁଛି, କେତେବେଳେ କ୍ରେୟନ୍ସ ୟୁଜ୍ କରୁଛି, କେତେବେଳେ ୱାଟର କଲର୍ ୟୁଜ୍ କରୁଛି। ହଁ, ପେଣ୍ଟିଂ କରୁଛି, ସେ ଗୋଟେ ଡ୍ରଇଂସ୍ ଅଛି ତାକୁ ସେ ପେଣ୍ଟ କରୁଛି, କଲର୍ କରୁଛି। ବୁଝିହେଲା?
ୟେସ୍ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ। ଏଇଟା ମାନେ ଡ୍ରଇଂରେ ପେଣ୍ଟ କରିବ,
ହଁ,
ସେଥିରେ ଡ୍ରଇଂ ଖାଲି କରିବ।
ହଁ। ଡ୍ରଇଂରେ ପେଣ୍ଟିଂରେ ସେ କଲର୍ ଡିଫରେଣ୍ଟ ଟାଇପ୍ସ ଅଫ୍ କଲର୍କୁ ଆଇଡେଣ୍ଟିଫାଏ କରୁଛି, ଆଉ ସେଠି କଲର୍କୁ ମିକ୍ସ କରୁଛି। ଫର୍ ଏକ୍ଜାମ୍ପଲ୍, they know about the three primary color, that is green, yellow and blue. So in the painting he mix the color and make a different color. So she create a orange color, she create a violet color, and in this painting activities identify the primary color and mix the primary colors and make different colors, and this creates the foster the creativity of the child and also the imagination of the child. तारे जमीन पर ଦେଖିଛ?
ୟେସ୍ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ।
ହଁ, ସେଠି ଯୋଉ
ବଢିଆ
ଲାଷ୍ଟରେ
ମୁଭି।
ଯୋଉ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ ପେଣ୍ଟିଂ କମ୍ପିଟିସନ ହେଇଛି।
ହଁ ହଁ ହଁ,
ଅ,
ସେ ଯୋଉ ସନରାଇଜ ନା
ହଁ,
ସନସେଟ ଏମିତି କିଛି।
ହଁ, ସିଏ ଯୋଉ ଆମେରିକାନ କ୍ରିଏଟ ଦ
ସେ ଖାଲି
ପିକ୍ଚର ଅଫ
ଏମିତି
ଦ,
ହାତରେ ଖାଲି
ହଁ,
ଯେକୌଣସି କଲର କୁ ହାତରେ
very
ଖାଲି
good,
ଏମିତି
very good, very
ବୋଳି
good,
ପକେଇଥିବ।
very good. In the painting activity he use his hands, uh, so many things he can use and paint. So that is the painting activity. Then activity session 7. Someone asked some question. Is it understood?
ୟେସ୍ ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
Then activity session 7. Taking the children out for a walk in the neighborhood or within the preschool, coming back and discussing what they saw. This is to be followed by children drawing what they saw if there is time. So the children must know about their neighborhood, that market or park or hospital, post office. So the children must identify the neighborhood, and this related to their lives. So if we have a opportunity to visit these type of neighborhood places, we can take the child into the marketplace, into the hospital and post office, and the child observe that everything, and after coming back from the neighborhood, we have some discussion with the children what they had seen in the neighborhood. And if there is time permit, we have organized a drawing activity what they have saw in the neighborhood, and they draw in a piece of paper. So it must foster their creativity and develops their observation skill. uh, ବୁଝିହଉଛି?
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ଆଜ୍ଞା
activity
ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
session uh, activity session related to outdoor visit or exposure visit the towards the neighborhood, um, all the
ନେବରହୁଡରେ ଯାଇ କଣ କରିବି?
ସେମାନେ ମାର୍କେଟ ମନେକର ଗୋଟେ ମାର୍କେଟ ପ୍ଲେସକୁ ଗଲେ, ବିଶାଲ ବିଶାଲ ମନେକର ଭିଜିଟ୍ କରିବାକୁ ଆମେ ନେଲେ ଛୁଆ, କିମ୍ବା ରିଲାଏନ୍ସ ସ୍ମାର୍ଟ ନେଲେ, ସେଠି ଯିଏ ଦେଖାଯାଉଛି ସେଠି ସବୁ ଭେଜିଟେବଲ୍ସ ଆଭେଲେବଲ୍ ଅଛି ଏବଂ ଗ୍ରୋସରୀ ମ୍ୟାଟେରିଆଲ୍ସ ଆଭେଲେବଲ୍ ଅଛି. If someone go to the market that Reliance Smart, he or she can get everything from that. ତ ସେଇଠି ପିଲା ଅବଜର୍ଭ କରୁଛି ଯେ ମାର୍କେଟରେ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ ଆଭେଲେବଲ୍ ଅଛି, ଭେଜିଟେବଲ୍ ଅଛି, ଗ୍ରୋସରୀ ଅଛି, ସେ ଆଇଡେଣ୍ଟିଫାଏ କରୁଛି ନମ୍ବର ଅଫ୍ ପିପୁଲ୍ ଦେ ଆର୍ ଆପଏଣ୍ଟେଡ୍ ଦେୟାର, ଆଣ୍ଡ ଦେୟାର ହସ୍ପିଟାଲିଟି ସେମାନେ କେମିତି ୱେଲକମ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ସେଠି କେମିତି ସାନିଟାଇଜର ୟୁଜ୍ ଅଛି, ଏଭ୍ରିଥିଙ୍ଗ ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ ଏଭର୍ he or she see there and observe there, can analysis in their mind. ସେମାନେ ଯାହା ସେଠି ଦେଖୁଛନ୍ତି ସେମାନେ ସେଟାକୁ ଅବଜର୍ଭ କରିଛନ୍ତି, ଆଉ ସେଠୁ ଆନାଲିସିସ୍ ମଧ୍ୟ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ଏଠି ଗୋଟେ ମାର୍କେଟ ପ୍ଲେସ୍ ଅଛି ଯେଉଁଠିକି ଏଭ୍ରିଥିଙ୍ଗ ଇଜ୍ ଆଭେଲେବଲ୍, ଆଉ ସେଠି ନମ୍ବର ଅଫ୍ ସେଠି ୱାର୍କର ଅଛନ୍ତି ଯେଉଁମାନେ କି ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ କିଛି ପଚାରିଲେ ସେମାନେ ସଙ୍ଗେ ସଙ୍ଗେ ସେଠିକି ନେଇଯାଉଛନ୍ତି, ତାଙ୍କୁ କେତେ ହେଲ୍ପ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। The people how in the marketplace people help each other. ତ ସେଠି ନମ୍ବର ଅଫ୍ ଭେଜିଟେବୁଲ୍ସ, ସବୁ ଭେଜିଟେବୁଲ୍ ଫ୍ରୁଟ୍ସ ଦେଖୁଛି, ସେଠୁ ଚିହ୍ନୁଛି, ଗ୍ରୋସରୀ ଆଇଟମ୍ ଦେଖୁଛି, ଚିହ୍ନୁଛି, ତ ଆଇଡେଣ୍ଟିଫାଏ କରୁଛି ତା ଡେଲି ଲାଇଫରେ ସେ ଯାହା ବି ୟୁଜ୍ କରୁଛି, what are the resources he or she used in his daily life, he identified in the marketplace. ବୁଝିହଉଛି?
ୟେସ୍ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ।
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ତ ଆମେ ସେଠି ପିଲାକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଏକ୍ସପୋଜର ଅପରଚ୍ୟୁନିଟି ଦେଉଛେ, ତାର ନେବରହୁଡ୍ ସେ ଜାଣୁ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ ନେବରହୁଡ୍ ତା ପାଖରେ ଅଛି, ଆଉ କେଉଁଠୁ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ ଜିନିଷ ସେ ଆଭେଲେବଲ୍ କରୁଛି ମାର୍କେଟରୁ, ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ ଦ ଥିଙ୍ଗସ୍ ଗେଟ୍ ଫ୍ରମ୍ ଦ ମାର୍କେଟ, ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ ଆର୍ ଦ ଥିଙ୍ଗସ୍ ଗେଟ୍ ଫ୍ରମ୍ ଦ ପୋଷ୍ଟ ଅଫିସ୍, ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ ଆର୍ ଦ ଥିଙ୍ଗସ୍ ଗେଟ୍ ଫ୍ରମ୍ ଦ ପୋଲିସ୍ ଷ୍ଟେସନ, ହାଉ ପୋଲିସ୍ ଷ୍ଟେସନ ହେଲ୍ପ ଦ ପିପୁଲ୍, ଏସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ବହୁତ କିଛି ସେ ସେଠୁ ଶିଖୁଛି, ଜାଣୁଛି। Then activity session 8, activity to this activity foster the concept of color. I have already told in the painting activity also foster the concept of color, and this activity session 8, this is you can organize the experiment with the colors. You take the three primary color and put different colors in different glass of water, and change the color. The student see, and also the student do that activity, and he will observe and take this color, yellow color and green color, and it mix up, and whatever color he get, he note down. And in this activity he always learned about the concept of color, and learn about the rainbow and the seven color, the importance of seven color in our life. So this activity foster the concept of color. In day 9, the activity session 9 fosters the concept of number. He identify the number 1 to 5 and write the number 1 to 5, and this related to the concept of number. The activity session 10 related to the uh, session related to strengthen the ability of matching and classification. ସେଠି ଏଠି ଆମେ ମ୍ୟାଚିଂ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ପିଲାକୁ ତାର ଯେଉଁ ରିଜନିଂ ସ୍କିଲ୍କୁ ଡେଭଲପ୍ କରୁଛେ ତ ସେଠି ମ୍ୟାଚିଂ ନମ୍ବର ୱାନ୍ ଅଛି ନମ୍ବର ୱାନ୍ ରିଲେଟେଡ୍ ଗୋଟେ ପିକ୍ଚର ଅଛି ତା ଭିତରେ ନମ୍ବର ୱାନ୍ ଅଛି ସେଠି ସେ ମ୍ୟାଚିଂ କରୁଛି କିମ୍ବା ଗୋଟେ ଗଛ ତଳେ ଗୋଟେ ଆମ୍ବ ପଡ଼ିଛି ସେଠି ଗୋଟେ ୱାନ୍ ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି ତ ସେଠି ଜାଗାରେ ସେ ଯେଉଁଠି ଗୋଟେ ଆମ୍ବ ଅଛି ସେଠି ନମ୍ବର ୱାନ୍ ପାଖରେ ମ୍ୟାଚ୍ କରୁଛି ଯେଉଁଠି ଦୁଇଟା ଫୁଲ ଅଛି ସେଠି ନମ୍ବର ଟୁ ଜାଗାରେ ମ୍ୟାଚ୍ କରୁଛି ତ ମ୍ୟାଚିଂ ଆଣ୍ଡ କ୍ଲାସିଫିକେସନ୍ ଅଡ୍ ୱାନ୍ ଆଉଟ୍ ଯଦି ତିନିଟା ସେଉ ଅଛି ଗୋଟେ ଆମ୍ବ ଅଛି ସେଠି ଅଡ୍ ୱାନ୍ ଆଉଟ୍ରେ ସେ ଗୋଲ ବୁଲଉଛି ସାର୍କଲ୍ ଦ ଅଡ୍ ୱାନ୍ ଆଉଟ୍ ସେଠି କ୍ଲାସିଫାଏ ସେ କରୁଛି ଯେ ଆମ୍ବର ଗୋଟେ ଗ୍ରୁପ୍ ଆଉ ଏଠି ଅଲଗା ଗୋଟେ ଗ୍ରୁପ୍ ଅଛି ତ ଦିସ୍ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି 10 ସେସନ୍ ଇଜ୍ ରିଲେଟେଡ୍ ଟୁ strengthen the ability of matching and classification. ବୁଝିହେଲା? Is it understood?
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
The next day 11, so then day 10 complete, and 1 to 10, day 1 to day 10 we have to you have to organize one activity per day. Now see the day 11 contain two activity A and B. So activity session 1 11 contain activity based on the theme of my family. So he the student can make a family tree or paste the picture of his family, and he develop his concept of nuclear small family, big family, joint family, and according to the family tree, he identify his family is either a small family, either a big family, or either a large family. So, in this activity, you can organize the activity or plan the activity based on the theme of family. Then, activity session 12. Activity session 12 is about the storytelling followed by related activity. I already told if you make a story, if your concept is my family, and then activity session 12 based on your story about your family, and after the story you can recapitulate the story, and what they learn from the story students can be um, can say and interact discuss with the students जहाँ हमें सिखिले स्टोरी टू कौन सिखिले ये बड़ा किसी related to your before activity. In day 12 activity session 13, activity session 13 based on the theme of animals. The students already see a number of animals in their environment. So, what are the domestic animal? What are the wild animal? They identify. They must identify the domestic and wild animals. So these activity related to the animals, and voice of animals and the animals, the babies of animals. So much activity you can organize in the activity session 13. It is based on the theme animals. So activity session 14 related to the painting activity using leaves, flowers and vegetables. You can organize a painting activity in the activity session 14. You organize a painting activity using leaves and using flowers and vegetables. In the latter part, in the tomorrow class, we will details discuss how the active painting activity done is by using the leaves and flowers. So in day 13, there are two activities, activity 15 and activity 16. Activity 15 related to the activity based on the theme seasons. The students can let the students already exposed have the about the seasons, types of seasons, and they see the rainy season. They already see the winter season and summer season, and what are the things do in the summer season, what food they like in the summer season, and what they don't like in winter season. This type of experience they have already gained. So in this activity, they identify from the picture, they identify which season is in the picture. So what are the clothes they use in that season, what are the food they use in that season. So they have they get the knowledge about the season, and the knowledge is also related their life experiences, and they feel much interested in the concept, and doing the activity, and must involve in the activity. Mm. Is it understood, Ujiuchi?
Yes, ma'am.
Then activity session 16 is related to or foster physical and gross motor development. Any type of play activity you can organize to develop physical and gross motor development. Then day 15. Day 15 you have organized activity session 19 and activity session 20. In activity session 19, the activity based on the concept of floating and sinking. So in this activity, how the things float, the many children in their lives see the boat, ship, and they experience the real picture of the sea and boat. So how they float in the water? A big ship is float in the sea. There are many questions in their mind, and this related to the floating and sinking experiment you can do or organize. A floating or sinking activity session, and student also interested and do themselves in and get involved in the floating and sinking activity sessions, and doing the activity they can understand the concept how the ship float in the sea, and how the boats float in the river. Then activity session 20, music and movement activity. Uh, this is activity related to the music and movement activity. You can play a song, or play a video song in the smart board, or play a song in your music system, and teachers according to the um, song, the teacher uh, dance with the children, and a physical motor development, it fosters the physical and motor music and movement activity can organize. This is a type of exercise done by can be done by the teacher. So music and movement activity related to the activity session 20. Day 16, related to the activity session 21 and 22. Activity session 21 related to the strengthen the children's understanding of different texture and surface. Rough surface, uh, plain surface, if cotton has if they hold some cottons in their hands, how they feels. If they hold some paper, how they feels. If they hold some sand, how they feels. They learn about the surface and texture of the material. This activity related to the session 21. Then activity session 22 related to the picture reading activity. You can show a picture to the student, to the kids, and they observe the picture, and identify the character in the picture and the scene in the picture, and they interact with you. So this related to their language development, and their imagination. It fosters the imagination and also the language development of the child. Then day 7 related to the activity session 23 and 24. In the activity session 23, based on the theme trees or plants. How what are there are many types of trees and plants they see also see in the environment, and also touch the plant, and also plant a tree in their garden. So much experience or exposure they already get in the environment. So this activity is related to the trees and identifying the trees, and how they help us, how we get oxygen. Some themes are related to this. Then activity session 24 related to the organized drawing, painting, and printing activities, and also clay work. In the market there is now available in various type of clay, and also you um, buy some clay, and also the play school have some clay particles, and the students make very interesting things by the clay, make fruits, and make vegetables, and also make different types of toys from the clay. This is the interesting activity for the children. Children like to play in the clay. Then day 18, activity session 25. Activity session 25 based on the theme mode of transport. The student also have exposure with their transport system. Sometimes they travel by train, sometimes they travel by aeroplane, sometimes they travel by cycle, bicycle, motorcycle, sea, boat. So much experiences they already have got from the environment. You only connect these experience with the modes of transport. So the students can easily identify the modes of transport. The activity 25 related to the mode of transport. Then activity session 26 related to the activity storytelling. In day 9 you have activity session 27 and activity 7 session 28. Activity 7 session 27 is a puppet show. Do you know about puppet show?
Yes, madam.
कौन कहला ଟିକେ? puppet show कौन?
ସେ ଯୋଉ ଫିଙ୍ଗରରେ ଯୋଉ ଚିତ୍ର ପୁରେଇକିରି ସେମିତି କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା କରନ୍ତି ସେମିତି, ନା ଯୋଉ କଣ୍ଢେଇରେ ସୂତା କଣ୍ଢେଇ ଯୋଉ ନାଚନ୍ତିନି
हाँ very good very good. आओ
ସେଇଟା ସେଇଟା, ନହେଲେ ଫିଙ୍ଗରରେ ଯୋଉ ପପେଟ ହୁଏ ପୁରେଇ
ହୁଁ
ଦେଇକିନି ଫିଙ୍ଗରରେ ଯୋଉ ଚିତ୍ର ସେଇଟାକୁ ଶୋ କରିକିରି ବି କହିହବ, ଯେମିତି ହାତ କରିକି
ହୁଁ
କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା
ହୁଁ
କରିକିନି ସେ
ହୁଁ
ଯୋଉଟା।
ବହୁତ ବଢିଆ। ଏଇଟା ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ବେଶୀ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟିଂ ଲାଗେ ନୁହେଁ କି? ହଁ,
ୟେସ୍ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ୍।
ସେ କଣ୍ଢେଇ ନାଚ ଯୋଉ ଆଗରୁ ବହୁତ ଆଗରୁ ସେଟା ସିଷ୍ଟମରେ ଥିଲା। ନାଓ ଦ in already the national education policy 2020 uh, say that the students in the play activity you can organize a puppet show. Play with the innovative pedagogy. There is innovative pedagogy or how you teach the children. This may be a play activity, and the students also learn very much from the play. So they like to play, always like to play, and from the play they learn many things. So in the play way method, or we organize a puppet show. The students can also make puppet, and they make the voice, and do a puppet show. The teacher doing a puppet show learn about or organize a story, or organize a theme, or organize a poem in a puppet show. So in this puppet show you can use your finger or जो कण्ढेई आम नाच आहरी भी आम मुखा बनैकी पिला पपेट शो कर मनकर क्याट्र मुखा, टाइगर मुखा। तो गोटे जंगल शो आम करुचे, सेठी गोटे मुखा गोटे पिला गोटे मुखा पिंधि कागज रे से कथा कहूब। तो ये आम इंटरेस्टिंग पपेट शो पिला नहीं क्रिएट करवा और एक्टिविटी ऑर्गेनाइज करवा, that must be related to some types of development. Activity session 28. Music and movement. Already we have discussed about it. Day 20. It related to the activity session 29 and 30. The activity 29 based on some theme from the social environment. We have already discussed that in the development part of the child there is a social development, and they related to the society, how the children interact with the society and the responsibility towards the society. So there's that this activity related to the social environment. Then activity session 30, it related to the water play, sand play. If neither it is possible to organize an activity in your choice. ମୁଁ କହୁଛି ପାଣିରେ କିଛି ସେ ଖେଳିବ, କାଦୁଅ ଯେଉଁ ବାଲିରେ କିଛି ଘର ବନେଇବ, ଯଦି ପାଖରେ ଅଛି ସେମିତି କିଛି ସୋର୍ସ ବା ରିସୋର୍ସେସ୍ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ୟୁଜ୍ କରିବା, ନହେଲେ you can create a now in every school I think there is a sand pit, and in the sand pit the students can use the sand to making a home, to writing something. So it is very interesting play activity outside the classroom or inside the classroom. Sometimes the classes now in the Anganwadi there also a sand pit inside the classroom. So it is a very interesting activity. So this is all about your 20 activity, and uh, this 20 activity is already mentioned clearly what the activity one in the activity one whatever you have to do, and what regarding this activity you have to plan. So according to the activity, you plan the activity and carry out the activity inside the classroom. If the activity is a puppet show, you have to organize, plan a puppet show, and it based on the theme and the puppet show also linked to the developmental goal, or some development is occurs in the children. So it must be every activity related to the children's development. That may be a physical development, that may be a social or emotional development, that may be a motor skill development. So every activity you organize that must be related to a development, and that must organize based on your activity session number. Is it clear?
Yes, madam.
Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. There is the schedule of activity session, rational and flexibility. Uh, if you go over the 30 activity session, you will find that they are distributed over 11 area. The 30 activity is related to 11 area. What are the area? The two activity 2, 18 and 30. It related to the motor development. You have already discussed the 30 activity and what the theme behind the activity. And here it is the consolidated data that activity 2, 18 and 30 related to the motor development. So what activity in the activity 2, whatever you do in the next activity, that is activity 18, you you can change your activity. Three activity session to foster fine motor development. These are activity session number 2, 18 and 30. So you have to organize three different activities that related or foster motor development of the child. Then two activity session to foster gross motor development. These are activity session 1 and 16. You can repeat it. You can organize a new activity. If you organize a new activity, it will become very interesting, and
ଏଗୁଡ଼ା ସବୁ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ଲେଖିବାକୁ ପଡ଼ିବ କୋଉ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଗୋଲରେ?
uh, ଆଉ କଣ? তার 5 মিনিট পরে ভিডিও। Hello? Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh,